Craft Roulette. Oh.
I gotta find the... Sorry, guys. I had that... There we go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Craft Roulette. I'm Biddy Penny, standing in for Mary Gunn, your intrepid hostess. She will be back very soon. I am so excited to be here. I'm so honored to be here. And I've been watching the chat. It's lively tonight. So yay. Welcome, everyone. If this is your first time to catch Craft Roulette, I want to say welcome. This is such an exciting place to be if you love card making and crafting, or maybe you just like hanging out in groups virtually. So, and then for all of our friends who come every week, thank you so much. You make the show what it is. I want to say hello to Mr. Producer and the Chatterbox. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, if you saw your card in that amazing submission slideshow, make sure you stick around because there will be a drawing for a gift card at the end of this episode. So make sure you stick around for that. I want to talk a little bit about that. So we have a spin sponsor every week, and this week and this month it's Artful Angel. So there will be a drawing for that, as well as a handmade card with an itty bitty gift from Miss Mary, and who knows, probably some goodie bags and just a whole lot of fun. I want to send out a big shout out to our patrons. Thank you guys so much. This show is community sponsored. And so your contribution every month helps make this happen. So no matter which level you're at, everyone is greatly appreciated. I know for myself, I get a little excited each month when I see that my contribution has gone to Craft Roulette. I'm like, cheers, Mary and Steven. Yay, thank you. So I actually get a little excited. And we do have a new patron, and her name's Vicki Logan. So welcome. Welcome to the crew. Quick point of
order. Vicki Logan contributed to our second episode. So she was the second contributor of ever. So that's pretty cool.
Awesome. How cool. Well, welcome, Vicki. And, there's a lot of perks to being a patron. So I think you guys, if you're not one yet, I would encourage you to check it out. Okay, so how about Craft Roulette merchandise? I am wearing my Craft Roulette shirt tonight. Part of the Founders Club. I need a hoodie. So if you're cold, we have hoodies. If you're hot, we have t-shirts. If you're thirsty, we have mugs. There's something for everyone. team orange, team purple. I don't think we have team rainbow or yellow yet, but it's an orange and purple kind of thing. So we want to invite you over to craftroulette.live and shop the merchandise. It's there for you all year long. And yeah, so housekeeping, are we done? I think we might be.
I think so. Let's bring on Ardyth. How about that?
Yeah, I can't wait. So our special guest tonight is Ardyth. Ardyth, come into the chat. Let's get this started. Good to see you.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here tonight.
Oh, I'm so excited to get to craft with you, Ardyth.
Me
This
too.
is very exciting.
I'm missing Mary, but
9 times. Is that correct? This is your 9th?
Tonight is my 9th time. I've got my special headphones on tonight because we were having sound issues. So sorry for that. But yeah, we're missing Mary tonight, but I'm excited to be here tonight with you, Betty Penny.
Yes,
looking forward
absolutely.
to seeing what the wheel is going to give us.
Yes. Yeah. Mary's shoes are big ones to fill. So I just told myself I just have to be myself and have fun, and that will hopefully work.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I want to give Mary a shout out. Mary, we miss you. We can't wait till you're back in this seat. And thank you. Thank you for Craft Roulette, Mary. Kiss your brain. You did a good job. We wouldn't know what else to do on a Friday night now. So, Ardyth, if you would like to tell us a little bit about yourself and your YouTube channel and your crafty adventure, we'd love to hear.
Sure. I am a card maker from Toronto, Canada, and I've been crafting, card making for about just over 15 years now. I started my YouTube channel a few years ago, and I've been working on building that up over the last couple of years. Being stuck at home made that a great thing to do, and it was a great opportunity to start building that and really focusing on that. I've spent time on many design teams over the years, different companies and shop design teams, and I'm starting to really hone in on what my style is, at least for this season of my crafty career, and the things that I'm enjoying, and really liking stencils right now and die cutting. But yeah, I love trying it all.
I'm with you on that. I think my style changes every time I sit down at the chair.
That's called versatility. That's called versatility.
Right? Oh, well, that is so cool. Well, some things to me stand out about you. Like, I know you love a square card, and I think you like a 4 1/4 square, but I love that too. And, this last year I really transitioned into 5x7s myself. So it's been fun having more real estate, but I think square cards are a lot of fun. That's for sure.
Yeah, I started doing those mostly because they still fit into A2 envelopes, so I don't have to worry about the fact that it's a square card and it might require extra postage. It just goes into a regular envelope, and yeah, over the years I've gotten used to that slightly smaller bit of real estate. I've been making a lot more A2 cards lately. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what that's all about, but.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows?
Exactly.
You might be in 5x7 next year.
No, that sounds big. That sounds big to me. But yeah, I think it's important to go with the envelopes that are easily available, right?
Yes.
And because you can then not worry about having to hand cancel it or all those fancy postal issues that you'd have to get into.
Yeah. For sure. Did you ever make envelopes?
I have an envelope punch board. Remember when all those punch boards came out a few years ago? I have an envelope one, and I haven't used it in the longest time, but I will not get rid of it because I do think that is just a good basic to have in your stash in case you need a unique size,
Absolutely.
even if it's just, for something that you're hand delivering.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Last year I like to set goals for myself each year. And last year I had set I'd set a few goals. And one of them was to make more custom envelopes. And I abandoned that ship about a month in. Like, I just didn't stick to it. I discovered, maybe that's not my thing.
I think you
you
need
know.
big paper to do that though, right? Like that's the thing. I don't have a lot of 12 by 12. And I think often people use pattern paper for that.
Hmm.
And I don't have
Hmm.
any 12 by 12 pattern paper. And I'm
Wow.
also like, you need specific types of pattern paper for it to be suitable to be an envelope to actually, I guess you could put a label on it. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Lots to
Yeah.
think about.
Right. For sure. Speaking of things to think about, I'm just wondering, do you know what is craft roulette?
What is craft roulette?
I don't know. I hope Mr. Producer can help us out.
Sure can. What is Craft Roulette? Craft Roulette is a live paper crafts challenge show where the goal is to complete a project that has been randomly selected by the spin of a wheel. There are 4 categories we spin for: project, colors, element, and random. Each category has 24 possible options with a combined possibility of 331,776 unique projects. Whoa. We're live every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Central on youtube.com/craftroulette. Please like and subscribe. Each week we bring on a special guest crafter to create along with us and share their unique take on the challenge. You can play too. Complete a unique project of your own using the same 4 parameters set in this episode. You'll have 48 hours to contribute by submitting pictures of your project through the submission form on craftroulette.live. Contributions are featured on marygunfund.com's weekly episode blog and the next episode. Let's recap last week's episode and submissions.
All right, you guys. So now we all know what craft roulette is, right? Okay, so we are going to recap last week's episode, but it really wasn't last week because last week we had a special Christmas episode. So it was the week before when Amanda from Pear Blossom Press just killed it in the hosting spot. Way to go. High five, Amanda. And let's look at the map. Let's just look at the map and see where all these 116 contributions came from. I'm very impressed that you guys made all of these amazing cards right before the holidays. Very impressed. So great job. We have contributors from everywhere. Look who else snuck in a card. Miss Mary Gunn, you are supposed to be resting and you're making amazing cards. And I love it. And it does make me smile. I love that fabric behind the sentiment. I think that's fabric. Even if it's pattern paper, no matter what it is, I love it. I think it's great. And I'm so glad she made a card. Then we had the hostess, Miss Amanda, and her card just made me think of Bob Ross and happy trees and warm hugs. And it's just adorable. I love it. And then we had Miss Lauren on, who I also love. And that little corgi is so cute. That whole stamp set, I believe, was from the spin sponsor, Artful Angels. And look at it. It's just so cute. So we like to celebrate around here, and we love to celebrate the achievements of everyone. So to recap what the parameters are, they're all right there for you. It was a joyful card, fall colors, smile or smiles, and ombre. Really fun parameters, I think. And you guys just killed it, which we all saw in the beginning of this episode. All 116 amazing cards. So, yes, about the achievement board, we do have an achievement list that we like to celebrate everyone's achievements here. We have first timers, zero heroes, leading ladies, Club 52, new mug club. Will Mary add others? Maybe. I know she likes to have a good time and celebrate what everyone's done.
And here we go. Zero heroes, Paula R, 20.
Oh, Paula, congratulations, 20. That is so awesome. I love that moose.
Roberta, 40.
Roberta, oh my gosh, you're already at 40. Way to go. And you had an ombre ink pad. You're a step
Wanda,
ahead.
40 in a row.
40 in a row. Wanda, I love it. I love your gnome. Everything about that card is precious.
Meg, 40.
Meg, way to go. Oh my goodness. I like the simplicity of this card and that you didn't even have to color.
Lynn, 50 consecutive.
Oh no, Lynn, somebody's sick. I'm glad you made them a card. I'm sure that made them feel better.
Mary, 50.
Way to go, Mary. 50. That is so awesome. And I love your card.
Kay, 90.
Kay, wow, 90. How impressive. That's at least 2 years of work.
Elisa, 110.
5K. Aw, 110. Congratulations.
And backwards, Ava, 100. Mug Club.
All right, Ava. That fox is so cute, and I love that he's just running through the flowers.
Contribution leader number 6, Jackie Muller.
Oh,
104.
yes, Miss Jackie. Lovely card, Jackie.
Number 5, Smurf Murphy, 104.
So awesome. And Smurf, I like your composition photo. Thank you. That helps us see everything.
5K, 110.
110. Alyssa, you hope you didn't miss a 5K for this.
Kathy, 108. Number 3.
Oh, the Peanuts gang. I love it. I love it, Kathy. So cute.
Ellen Card Monkey, 121 consecutive.
Wow.
Number
How
2.
impressive. And what an elegant card. Absolutely.
And Patty Beck, our number 1 contributor, 137 in a row.
Yes, Patty.
It's hard to say it's
the
so
queen.
many.
Way to go, everyone. Thank you so much. The contributions is one of my favorite parts of the show. I'm just always amazed and always inspired. And I want to say, like, from the most simple cards to the complicated and everything in between, there is inspiration in every card that you share. So please keep submitting your cards. Now, I want to get back to Ardyth, and I want to get to spinning. So how about you, Ardyth?
Oh yeah, let's go. No purse cards. Oh
All
yeah,
right,
I
to
get
the
veto,
wheel.
don't I?
Are you
I
going
think
to veto
so.
purse for a third time in a row?
I think I have to.
Hey, I like it. You know, I understand.
Well, let's start with the patron vetoes. Benny,
Yes.
you can talk about those. I'll just knock them off real fast.
Sure. So we've got bright pink +2. So it's gone. Front door. Thank you. And outside the line. I actually had an idea for that one. I don't always check the parameters before an episode. Usually I let it be a complete surprise, but because I was hosting, I felt the duty to really look the list over. So those are out of there. How do you feel about that, Ardyth? Are there any of those that you're like,
Well, I like pink, but that's okay because I think there's probably other ways to work pink in.
yeah,
If
you
I
can
want
still
to.
use it.
Yeah.
You just don't have to use it, which is the beauty. As we talk about vetoes, everyone, you know, we can veto things and that way the will can't make us do something, but we can still choose to do something. And I know I usually sometimes like to kind of do that. I like to use it anyways. So, Ardyth thinking about the purse veto.
Go ahead and
I
veto
didn't
now
check
if you'd
either.
like to.
So before you decide, though, what would be your perfect parameter spins? What would be your favorites, do you think, from each category?
Okay, I'm gonna have to put my glasses on.
Put those on.
I didn't.
I understand.
I didn't look at them.
I
Well,
call them
first of
my
all,
big girl glasses.
a square card.
I see a 4x4.
Okay, 4x4. Okay, that's close. Oh, I can't read them, honestly. Bright colors, element.
Yeah. Even if it's not on the list.
Yeah, I like geometrics or yeah, more about techniques. So a geometric background, or I'm not always about the coloring of the critters. I do like flowers though. And random, I liked last week's. I like that ombre. Some of that ink blending that I saw in those submissions was astounding. It was just amazing.
Absolutely. I could see you maybe picking stencil under random if there was stencil. I can't see it either, so.
Let's move on to vetoes then.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So what do you think, Ardyth?
Their first card is still on there.
Okay. Let's just take purse card off. I can't read it, so if we take that off.
It's an easy way to get quite a few fans.
Yeah.
I know, but there's a couple out there that say every time I veto it, they're upset because they would like to make a purse card. But I think you could work a purse into a card. There you go.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, for those that do want to make a purse card, I did just see that Scrappy Tells has a die coming out for that.
Neat.
And then I know that Mary did it on Fun University. So you guys definitely check out Fun University. That is a time once a week when Mary goes back over the parameters that were in Craft Roulette the week before, and she gives you so many more ideas. She works through some of them, and it's like class. It really is. You're in class, and it's wonderful. I love Fun University, so definitely you guys will have to check that out. So,
shall we?
Yeah, I'm ready to spin. I don't know, has anyone in the chatterbox given us the cue? Can we get a few spins from the chatterbox?
Well, let's get this going with a warm-up.
Warm up.
And for project. Hard for someone special.
Oh.
Color. Colors. I think that is 17, so. Colors are Christmas tree. That's just colors though, not element.
I like that.
Element.
We use multicolors on our Christmas tree.
That would be bright. The lights are very bright, right?
Yeah.
5. Element is wreath. And random is going to be... Oh, I'm going to...
Put some extra gas in the tank, didn't you, Mr. Producer?
Hand-drawn border.
Oh boy, how interesting this is going to be.
I think this is the best spin I've ever had. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm glad you feel that way.
Okay.
I'm like, okay.
We've had some episodes where Ardyth kind of looked scared after the spins.
Remember the card? Or no, sorry, the car and the... Oh, yeah.
Truck, purse, something. I think, yeah, you had purse.
Yeah, I think I've had some real challenges. This is a nice one. I'm
This is
happy
a
about
good
this.
one.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the parameters just a little bit. This is always when I love the submission and seeing that every week. And then I really love this part where everyone's minds just start churning and they start sharing all these ideas in the chatter box. And I love hearing the brainstorming. Like that just gets me so excited that usually if I'm not in my craft room yet, I start running for it because it just gets me really excited. So a card for someone special, that one kind of cracks me up because it could be like someone you especially like, or maybe not. No, but I think that is really open. Like that could be anyone. That could be any age, any gender, any body, someone
Any
special.
size.
Yeah. Right.
You could even choose that person based on the card you want to make.
Yeah. Absolutely. So
Yeah, that's a
that
nice
just
one.
seems wide open.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
I love that. And then we had Colors Christmas Tree, which I always feel like the colors is the most difficult part of the spin for me, especially when it gets limited and it's like one or two colors plus something. And so to have Christmas Tree on ours, we have rainbow lights. So that seems wide open.
I think
Very
colors are pretty
exciting.
fair game on this one.
Yeah. Yeah. And always, so for everyone, just remember that you have neutrals too. So black, white, metallic, brown, you can always play with those as well.
And you don't have to make green the predominant color either. You can choose a color that might be small on a Christmas tree and make that the main color. So
Yeah. That's always nice too.
it's really, I mean, it's up to you, obviously. So, but you know, you don't want to feel locked into something because of the parameter. You want to figure out how to break out of the box.
Absolutely. And that's helped me like, Ardyth, you're team orange, right?
I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm more team rainbow.
You are team rainbow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of like orange and purple equally. They're not. Neither one of them's my favorite, but I don't dislike either one of them either.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am. I think that's how I am. Yellow's my favorite color, but then I love rainbow. I've always loved rainbow. It's always been hard for me to pick favorites, if anything.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, yeah. So with wreath, do you have a wreath stamp set, or what are you thinking for wreath?
I'm thinking I have a new stencil that I haven't used yet that is called, I think it's called a leaf frame. So it's wreath-like. So that'll be, I think that's going to be it.
Nice. Good.
Yeah.
I think wreath is exciting too, because I mean, you could do a wreath of cars and trucks. You know, you could like mix in if it's for someone special, and you know, you could mix in things that they like. Like I could see myself making a wreath of like FIFA World Cup soccer stuff for my husband, or a wreath of Star Wars stuff for my son, or Sparkle Heart for my daughter. Like I think that that's a really interesting combination of the wreath and then a card for someone special, because wreaths can be customized.
You are really thinking out of the box, and I just changed my direction. So there you go.
Oh,
I'm not going to do that, but I was thinking when you said that, I was thinking about the Wreath Builder stencil set, you know, where you use the stamps, but I have a Stencils 360 tool, which is a tool that allows you to spin stencils. I'm going to make my wreath with that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I think I just don't know if they're still on my desk. So usually on my desk, I say that there's 4.3 million things. So for me, a perfect spin would include something from my mask, because it would just be about anything. But yeah, I think I have some dies that are already cut of leaves, and I'm just hoping I can find them. I might have cleaned too much. I kind of like to have a mess so I can see everything and I can just grab the leaves that have been sitting there for a long time.
And that is the opposite of me. I like everything put away, so I know where it is, so I know where to go get it.
I know, it's amazing. Yeah, I do have order to my chaos, but not a ton. So then the last parameter is a hand-drawn border. And I am pretty excited about that, only because the idea we had, the random outside the line was something that they vetoed. And I had an idea for it that I wanted to use in a border. And so I'm like, oh, I get to bring that back if I want, if I can fit it in.
And on
Do
the
you draw on
border,
your cards very often, Ardyth?
the border doesn't have to be the whole card. The border could be around an element on the card, I believe.
Oh, that's clever.
So if you're
Yes.
thinking you have to draw around the entire card, I don't think you would have to. You could even do a border around a sentiment on the inside.
Right.
Love that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. See, I quickly jumped. Like I heard the parameters, and I quickly jumped. And that's what I find is the key to playing on Craft Roulette is you don't have a lot of time to think, right? Like you gotta decide what you're doing, and then you have to commit, and then you have to do it. But having this little chat has really opened my mind a lot. So yeah, that's very interesting about the borders.
I like it. I like it. Do you ever draw on your cards, Ardyth?
I do. I just did a video not too long ago about finishing touches that you can do quickly on your cards, and hand-drawn borders was one of them. And you can use different markers, you can use different lines, you could do dots. Like there's even within a hand-drawn border around the card. Let's assume we're going to stay boring and just do that. There's still a million ways you can do that. So yeah, this is all ringing very true to home for me tonight. I'm so happy with this.
Only the ninth time.
Only the
Lifetime's a charm.
ninth time lucky, yes.
Multiples of 3, it works.
That's right. Well, it can't be that bad. I keep coming back, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's a wonderful place to be.
Yeah, it's fun.
So
it's so fun.
Now that you're ready, I guess we can let you go and collect the things that you're going to use in your card making, and I'll do the same.
Okay. I'll see you back here in a minute.
See you back.
Do you find crafting hard? Are you stuck on one of those pesky parameters? Do you feel like the wheel is watching you while you craft? We have the solution for you. Hi, I'm Mary Gunfun. While I'm busy gathering my supplies, I just wanted to tell you about my other YouTube channel, youtube.com/fununiversity. We break down the parameters and talk about them at a more in-depth level. We also pick one tricky one to concentrate on and do a deep dive into it. But that's not all. We do our mail call every week on the channel as well. So if you wanted to send me a card or a package, send it to this address and I'll share it on the show. We're live almost every Tuesday night on youtube.com/fununiversity. We also do some celebration there because we will review our last week's achievement board. That's youtube.com/FUNN-University. No easy or complicated payments, no COD. Just show up and have fun. If you have too much fun, please call a friend immediately and invite them over to have fun with you. Normal postage and handling rates do apply. This ad was not paid for by anybody. We hope Mary is ready because I can't stretch this out any longer. Now back to the show.
Talk to the chat. Yep, here we go.
Just have something on my desk.
I think Biddy is still gathering things, chat.
Yeah.
So please share ideas in the chat of what you're thinking for tonight's parameters.
Hey everyone, I am definitely still gathering my supplies for this card. I don't know how Mary does it. How does she do it? She's so quick. She's always got her stuff figured out. I'm still checking my mask for these leaves. So does everyone have ideas? How are these parameters working for everyone in the chatter box? I'd love to know. I found them. Fantastic. So this here is paper that I've made with pigments that are kind of like brusho. And so I usually just make a whole bunch of them at one time, and then I cut off them randomly. And so what I have here are some die cuts of leaves, and I'm just going to build a wreath with these die cuts. And they're already colored because of the paper that I cut them out of. So I've got that much going for me here. Let's see. What else do I need? I kind of do want to make this like for someone special, and I want to customize my wreath so it has something besides just the leaves. I was just reading some of the comments, and Leslie said, no color parameters for me. I've got 4 trees and they're wild. That's just my style, Leslie. Well, and I was thinking about it when Stephen was talking about green trees. Some people have hot pink or white trees. So, yeah, I think this is just wide open tonight. What do you guys think in the chat? Do y'all do better when the parameters are wide open, or do you like them when they're a little more restricted? And
well, I think it's healthy to think about the parameters as a box to check and not a direction. And so, you know, if those colors can be tree colors, then it checks the box.
And not be locked into it.
Exactly.
I like it.
All right. Ardyth is ready.
All right. Let's bring Ardyth back. I want to see what she's got.
Okay. So someone special is my mom, who had her knee replacement surgery last week. So she had a knee replacement a few years ago and it failed. So she had to go through it again, which is just awful. So I thought I would send her a nice thinking of you card. And I'm going to stick pretty true to the Christmas tree colors. I'm going to use some greens and aquas because she likes those colors. And I'll probably add maybe some berries to my wreath. And I'm going to think about how the hand-drawn border is going to work once I get there. So that will be my next thing to do. First, I'll start with the wreath. Whoops! Sorry,
I think your phone fell.
Yeah. I moved away to try and cut some paper without taking my headphones off. Hold on.
Take your time.
So I was just grabbing some things, and I have some coffee sets that I thought, well, a coffee wreath might be fun, or a chocolate wreath might be fun with
I love that idea.
Little bits of either coffee things, themed things, or chocolate, or cupcake wreath, something like that. And then I can make it a birthday card for someone special. So, Ardyth, you and I have discussed this, and although we're very different, we're kindred in many ways. Do you ever stamp things out and then like have extras? Do you do that, or do you just stamp for whatever project you're working on? Because I know in the past I've seen episodes where you talked about how you don't like having scraps, like you don't want to have to store scraps. So I'm
Right.
curious.
Yeah, no, that's interesting because that's all true, but I don't stamp that much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say I don't like to keep scraps, that is one of the reasons why I don't keep a lot of colored cardstock on hand. And I use my ink pads, my Catherine Pooler inks, to create my colored cardstock. And that is so that I don't end up with tons of little pieces of colors. And also it means that any of my colored cardstock matches my other inks or other places where I've used the inks.
Yeah, I
So
think that's really
I don't really
so
stamp ahead,
interesting.
but I do die cut ahead. I especially die cut word sentiments ahead.
And do you cut them out, or do you leave them on
I
the
do. I
paper?
cut them out, and then like I keep them in. I have these little pockets, right? So anytime I'm doing a die cut, I add a few word dies on as well, and then I keep them in these little pockets. And so like if I want to make a Merry Christmas card and I want a Merry, even if I want like a gold sentiment, I've got 3 white layers here that I can use to stack it up, and I can do one die cut when I'm making that card rather than having to do it 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
So I have found this system very useful, especially when I'm making multiple cards or if I'm trying to do things very quickly.
Yes. Yeah. I like to do the same thing. I like to, if I'm going to cut things, if I'm going to die cut, like how I had all my leaves already done and I've already got these things stamped and colored. If I'm feeling like working with something, but maybe not ready to, make a card, or I just want to play with my supplies, if doing a different process, then I'll make extras, and then I always just store it back with that die set or that stamp set. And that way, the next time I think of that stamp set, I can look and see, do I have components from it that are already complete?
Yeah, I do that
And
as
that helps
well.
me stay organized.
Yeah.
Ardyth, we are having requests for the name of the product you're using to spin the stencil.
This tool is called Stencils 360, and it comes, so it's a big plastic base. Okay, so there's a big plastic base. It has, I don't know what you can see. Hold on, let me adjust here. So it has these concentric circles on it, and it has symbols. Okay, and the symbols are at particular angles all the way around. And then you have a guide ring, which has lines on it. And then you have the stencil, which is circular, that goes in the center. And so when I line this up and I blend my ink through, then I say I wanted, if I want 8 points on my wreath, which is what I want today, then I know that I need to move my guide to the next triangle. And then I don't have to do any math. I don't have to worry about the angles. I just follow symbols. And you'll see as I go through this, how it creates, it's going to end up creating something that looks like this, but with today's colors. So I've chosen my Christmas tree colors, which are kind of greens and blues and yellows. And I'm having a hard time thinking about what I'm doing and talking at the same time. So if my sentences, if it sounds like I'm stuttering, that's why, because it does take just like, it's very simple, but it does take a little concentration, especially trying to get the right colors in the right places, but it'll all work out.
We'll let you get back to that.
Yeah.
I do have a patron question for Biddy Penny. How did you get your nickname?
Oh, that's a good question.
And that's from Amanda Stevens.
So, well, my mom has always called me since I was little. She would call me Little Biddy. And so that was just my childhood nickname. And when I started card making, I thought, well, I don't really want to just sign my name on the back of all these cards because I was donating a ton of them. And I thought, well, I need an alias. I need an alias. And so my father was sick at the time, and then he ended up passing. And I decided, well, I'll just use Biddy. I've always been Biddy, and Penny, my maiden name. So it's a combination of a childhood name and my maiden name.
That's nice.
And that's how I came up with it. So it's very meaningful.
So do people always call you Biddy Penny, or I hear Stephen sometimes calling you Biddy? I guess
Yeah.
Biddy. Yeah.
Yeah, I get both. And then some people call me by my name, which is Toby. Which I guess, Biddy Penny is my name too now.
Right.
But then some people actually call me by my first name, which is Toby. That for those who know it or want to, they can do that too. I pretty much go by anything. Hey, crazy lady, whatever.
Funny, I get called that a lot too.
I'll be
What
right
are you
back,
doing with
ladies.
all that paper?
Please continue.
So we do have a lot of really wonderful questions from the patrons tonight, and I want to make sure we get to them. So Ardyth, if you're game, I'd love to start asking you some of those.
Yep.
Okay. So from Amanda Stevens, she had a question for you. Outside of card making, what are your hobbies?
I love to bake. I love to walk. I walk about 100 kilometers every month. I love to watch Formula One.
Awesome.
I play piano for a couple of children's choirs, and I'm involved at the food bank at our church.
How wonderful.
Enough to keep me busy.
Yes, it sounds like it. See, I just feel like even though we're very different card makers, we have so much in common. So I love to bake as well. I actually, when I was in college, I was a cake decorator. And
oh, neat.
It was one of my most favorite jobs of all time. You know, just getting to create little works of art every day. And I did a lot of birthday cakes and wedding cakes, and it was just so much fun.
Yeah.
So I share that with you, most definitely.
So did you run like Did you run like
Go
a
ahead.
business out of your house or something? Or
No, I worked for a bakery.
oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. It was so much fun. It was so funny because it was like 25 women and we had one man who worked with us.
And one poor guy.
Yeah, he was so funny. He was actually a young student, and he would just come in with headphones, and he just wore his headphones for his whole shift, and that's how he got by. He figured out a way. So cool. Amanda had another one. She said for both, when you get stuck, where do you look for inspiration?
I'm constantly inspired. I am constantly pinning things to Pinterest boards, and that little thing in the corner of Instagram to save it. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's called pinning or whatever, but and I very rarely go back and look at them, but I think all those things kind of stick in my brain. So I just look all around. I lately have been looking at a lot of like fine art to kind of see the styles of different fine artists around.
Yeah, I get inspired from film, from definitely art. My job that I do 9 to 5 is art based. And so I deal with a lot of fine art. And so definitely I find myself writing people's names down, capturing certain pieces and taking pictures of it and being inspired by that. I had to take a hiatus from my hobby the last couple of months, but when I'm in the flow, I dream a lot. Do you ever dream of card ideas, Ardyth? I actually have dreams.
I often dream of what I'm going to say in my videos. I don't, not so much cards, but yeah, as I'm coming through the week and I've made the cards and I'm thinking about how to, like what to say about them and that kind of thing. Yeah, I find that my videos end up in my subconscious quite a bit.
I was doing a voiceover and I am a little rusty and I was like, man, it would be so great if I would like actually script these sometimes or maybe at least watch it once through after I've edited to have a plan. I just do it completely off the cuff, which matches the kind of card making I do too. I'm just an off the cuff person, but I could really use some scripts in my dreams and some.
Well, it's interesting because I script my videos.
You do?
But yeah, and I am very admiring of what, not envious, but like very respectful of people who can, just wing it, because I feel like I would be constantly and my ideas wouldn't flow as well. But it's something I'd like to work on, because I do feel like I sound scripted when I'm on my videos. So that's something I'd like to work on this year is being more natural.
Many of your videos and never thought you sounded scripted.
Oh, that's nice. There's plenty of people who let me know they think I sound scripted.
Oh.
Biddy, can you move to the left a little bit on your paper? Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's always funny because when someone, we see things and we're like, so you like that I can do off the cuff, and I'm impressed that you can do scripts,
Right.
It's like, oh, maybe that's something I should try. So it's so funny. I think this hobby lends itself, to anyone, because I think all of our personalities and all of our differences and all the ways that we see things so differently, like when everyone's sharing their ideas and the parameters come up, it's just, there's something for everyone in card making.
I agree. I think that it's a great way to express your unique personality.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh gosh, I just put something in the center. Does a wreath have to have a center opening?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Mine doesn't. Mine doesn't. So there you go.
So it doesn't. Amanda also wanted to know if you're participating in any upcoming events.
I am. There is, many of you will know that I've been in the Card Maker Success Summit a number of times now, and the next one is coming up at the end of February, and it is about making cards for any occasion other than Christmas, really. So awesome. I'm actually going to be using this tool, this Stencils 360 tool, and showing how to make gift sets for friends.
So nice.
Yeah.
That is something I like to do. I love to give cards as like sets of cards as gifts. I just think it's the gift that keeps on giving, and it's so practical and useful.
I agree.
And it's fun to share.
Now, when you do a gift set, do you do like all one design with different occasions, or do you do all completely different, or
It
Like,
depends on the person and my time. If I don't have a lot of time, then I'm essentially just going through my stash and trying to find, you know, just like useful, like, oh, I'll give them a couple of thank yous and a couple of just because and a couple of encouragement cards or whatever.
right.
Or I'll sit down and specifically make a set of cards, and I might use like similar pattern papers and stamps, but each card will be different.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
and I do like to give a lot of cards that don't have sentiments, and that way they can use them for anything that they find appropriate.
right. I found when I've been like I donate a lot of cards, and I find sometimes people don't like it that there's no sentiment on the inside.
Right.
And I always think, well, hey, if you like somebody enough to give them a handmade card, then maybe you should write your own words. But I also understand, like sometimes you don't know the words, and you're like, when you go to a store and you buy a card, you're basically buying the writing skills of the person who came up with whatever that internal sentiment is or whatever.
Yeah, my husband always has given me the most sweet, most beautiful cards, and I have always given him just the goofiest cards. It is so funny. He'll give me something that's so sentimental and, like you're saying, like so well written. It's maybe even got, words on both sides of the inside of the card and the outside. It's just very wordy and sweet. And then I give him something that's like, "You're the bomb."
We all have our different gifts, though. That's really nice.
Yeah. But I definitely, I noticed that Ardyth as well, like giving my cards to so many different people, or I do a lot of craft shows too. And I also donate a lot of cards. And I found that people always are like, they look at the card and they're like, "Oh, it's really pretty." And then they open it up and they're like, "But there's nothing on the inside." That was a very common thing. So I just started always doing the inside of my cards. And once I started doing that, now a card isn't complete to me unless the inside is done.
Right. So again, it's about habits, right? It's about getting used to it. And I've been thinking that that's one thing, as I sit there at Christmas time, every Christmas, and I'm writing out my personal cards that I want to send. I'm always thinking, why didn't I stamp something on the inside of these when I made them? Okay, I need to cut something. So I'm just going to have to take my headphones off for a second. I'll be right back.
Just a heads up to everybody. So I've been working on the website, and I did a bunch of work on the submission form because there's always a few people that have trouble with it, and I want to make it so it works for everybody. And at the very bottom of each of the steps, once it has started, there's now a request help button. And if you get stuck, please hit that button and let me know. It'll send me a message. I won't talk to you in real time or anything, but it at least lets me know that you're having trouble. And so I might be able to fix it later. So just a heads up, the form will feel the same, hopefully, but it should be very improved behind the scenes. So that's my PSA for today. And how to play along.
Thank you, Stephen.
What would we do without you?
I know, you take such good care of all of us. Like, it's so sweet. You just keep making it better and better. It's awesome.
I just want to get it to where I can put it on the back burner,
Yeah, I can see that. So, Ardyth, in honor of you, I think I'm going to try to make a 4 1/4 square card.
Oh, I don't know if you noticed, but I haven't been.
Well, you're making an A2, huh?
I am making an A2.
Awesome. So when you're doing a 4 1/4 square, you're able to get two card bases out of every 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, just like an A2, right?
That's right. Plus a scrap, which I keep in my drawer
I was about to ask you if you keep those scraps.
Yep, I keep those scraps. I have one drawer of scraps and I have white scraps, I have black scraps, and I have a bin for other colors, which is mostly craft. And I use those when I want to die cut words or stamp something and die cut something small.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I make a lot of 5x7, so I have a lot of scraps, and I do the same thing with mine.
Yeah, so you cut it 10x7, I guess, right? So then you have that a scrap along one side and along the long side.
Yes.
The short side and the long side.
All right. Well, we have some more questions.
These guys are always really good with questions.
I know.
Really neat questions.
It's awesome. I really always enjoy it. So Cordelia, one of my friends, she wanted to know, she had a question for me. Did you get started making journals? And I don't know, Cordelia. I just kind of stumbled upon it a couple of years ago, and all the card making that I was doing. And I just loved it. I've always been someone who likes to write, and I like to journal. And it just really worked for me. And I already had all this paper and all these supplies to make them. So I didn't have to make any additional investments besides my inexpensive little bookbinding kit that I got off Amazon. And I've been hooked ever since. I just really enjoy it. So, and sometimes I want to break from cards, or I want to break from one or the other, or I think they feed into each other. Some of the techniques I would pull from junk journaling, I can put into card making, like my Franken paper. And they just go well together. And Ardyth, she wants to know, what's your favorite card you've ever made?
Oh, goodness. I'm not sure I have one favorite. I have a number of favorites, but one thing that just, the first one that popped into my mind was this incredibly masked scene. And this is something I don't even do right now. But I did a stamped and masked scene when I was a guest for Neat and Tangled a couple of years. I still have it. Should I get it for you?
Grab it.
Okay, hold on.
See it. Go. Yeah, I don't think I'm quite.
You'll like this, Biddy, because it's a 5x7.
Oh, yes, I love it.
So I used every Neat and Tangled stamp set I had at the time, and I masked all the deer, and I did a map. So I drew, I had a piece of paper, and I stamped them all without masking, just so I understood which order I would have to stamp and mask, so that who was behind who. And it really worked well. But yeah, everything was masked. Everything.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
So, now that
is one layer cards are work, aren't they? I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
Who made your coffee stamp set, Biddy?
Oh, this is MFT. It is called Coffee Date. And so the cool thing about MFT is they keep things in stock for quite some time. It might still be available. It's a couple of years old. But you may still be able to find it.
That's so funny you say that, Biddy, because just today I was talking to a friend, and we were talking about how we feel like MFT retires things quickly. So I'm
really?
interested. Yeah, I'm interested to hear you say pretty much the exact opposite.
Well, I mean, some companies seem to retire them wickedly fast.
Yeah, maybe they just do like one run and then when it's
Or they
out,
just
it's
do,
out.
one
Yeah.
run. And especially like smaller companies, I
Right.
understand, like,
Right.
if you don't want to just keep producing the same thing, if if the
Yeah.
funds are limited or whatever, you want to go on to new things.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I feel like I can find things at MFT that have maybe been there
Right.
a while.
They have such great they have great illustrations, they have great backgrounds.
Yes, they do. And like you, Ardyth, I don't do a ton of stamping and coloring anymore. I do a lot of, I actually work just a lot with pattern paper, and this is how we're very different. I do a lot of collaging now,
Oh,
and I work
neat.
with a lot of printables.
Okay.
And so, yeah, but I still keep, to this point, I've still kept all my stamps, and I like to incorporate them. But when it comes to coloring, I've always enjoyed watercolor. I really tried to love alcohol marker coloring, and just, I don't know, I just never fell in love with it.
Yeah.
But I do love to watercolor. So, and then some of my favorite cards that I've made are like the ones that you just showed, where it's like I went that extra mile and I colored all the things and layered all the things, and they really are special cards.
Oh, for sure. Oh, I just thought of another favorite. I wonder if I still have that. Do you want to see that one?
Yeah.
Okay, it's completely different. Hold on.
Show us all the cards.
It was you talking about collaging and mixed media that made me think of this. This is a mermaid card that I made. And it's got
I love it.
5 different kinds of embossing powder on it. It's got ink blending, ink smooshing, die cutting, and watercoloring. So
I love it. It's beautiful.
I don't know what it says about me
tail.
that all my favorite cards are still here.
Well, I have a couple that I just took down so I can make room for others, because these were kind of like fall. But yeah, this is very mixed media and is really fun and collagey. So this is kind of the direction I've been going, and doing more printables and stencils and paste and like even metal elements, just whatever.
Right.
I have
that is super cool.
Series on my channel that I call No Dies, No Problem. And I essentially just try to create a lot of templates and create a lot of interesting cards without dies. Right. And so like this was one where I made the keyhole with just like a coffee mug and just kind of drew it out, sketched it out, and made like a keyhole cover plate kind of thing.
Oh, neat.
So, yeah. So I understand. I have some of my favorites laying around too.
Yeah. This year I really liked, there was a lot of geometric type things. Like the layered stencils that came out and some of the shape dies. I love pattern. I love, figuring out how a pattern works. A lot of my inspiration, going back to that question, a lot of my inspiration actually comes from quilts. I follow a lot of quilting accounts on Instagram because I love that kind of pattern.
Interesting. Quilts are wonderful. I just love sleeping with them. And I just think I admire people who can quilt, because I had to hem my son's pants a couple of weeks ago for one of his orchestra concerts. And I was like, oh my goodness. And when I got done hemming his pants, I went to my bedroom, and I have one of those ladders in my room, where it holds like special blankets. And I had one of my grandmother's quilts and some of the blankets my mom has made. And I just looked at those after just hemming a pair of pants and was like, wow, because my grandmother used to quilt everything by hand without a machine.
Okay, Biddy, this is too weird. My grandma did too.
And my grandmother made handmade lace with the
My,
tiniest little needle and
mine
thread.
did too. That was called tatting.
Yes.
Yes. My goodness.
I'm telling you, we have so much in common. We might make different cards, but we've got a lot in common. So, okay, we've got to get to Grandma Gay's thoughtful question of the day. We just can't let an episode go by without that. And it's one that I'm very excited about. So, for both of us, sitting on a park bench in the spring, what catches your attention first? Movement of animals or people, the sky, or floral and fauna wonders? What would catch your eye, Ardyth?
I think probably flora and then people.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I did just before Christmas, my church is the Salvation Army, and so I spent some time standing with the kettle in our local mall, and ringing the bell and asking for money. And the best part of that, honestly, is watching the people. I love seeing what they're wearing, what they're buying, who they're with, where they're going. And it's just, I love watching, the families go by with the little kids crying because they hate shopping. And I think, oh, I'm so glad that's over in my life. All that kind of stuff. I love people watching, but I'm also definitely caught by bright colors. So if there was pretty flowers around, I'd be looking at that as well. That's a really interesting question.
Isn't that wonderful?
It is
and
wonderful.
I think that goes back to the inspiration as well. Like I love florals. I can't get enough of them. I always say I'm a freak for florals. And, so I think for me, we have a beautiful view from our back door. And when I step outside, I just always kind of remember to breathe. That may sound weird, but being in nature just reminds me to take deep breaths and to slow down. And so I think I would definitely notice movement. But it's always a really slow period for me to be in nature. That's when I take deep breaths and chill out the most and relax.
Right.
But I also do like some good people watching myself. I had a marketing job one time, and I worked at the international terminal of the DFW airport. And I just loved it because I loved seeing all the people coming and going, and especially at international gates, like just all the different. I used to really love Princess Diana when I was growing up.
Oh,
because
me too. Oh my goodness.
I love that she dressed for the culture that wherever she was visiting. If she went to India, she would be dressed for the occasion. That she always seemed to respect different cultures through her fashion choices. And so I think I've always been enamored with people watching.
Yeah. And do you like Kate Middleton?
Yes, I do.
I do too.
I think she is wonderful. Yes. If only I had that much style. My goodness.
I think she's a great example of grace under pressure, right? Like, what a job. What a job. And yet she always seems to be happy and elegant and just
genuine.
Yeah.
She seems like a very genuine person.
She seems like she enjoys her job for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And her family.
Yeah.
And absolutely. Absolutely. We I don't have that much style, that's for sure. We love Converse, and we were in the Converse store the other day, and I ended up buying 2 different pairs of Converse that I plan on wearing different shoes on each foot. And I asked my kids, would you be seen in public with me if I choose these 2 different pairs and mix them up? And they're like, I don't know, Mom.
Is that a thing?
Well, get used to the idea because I'm probably going to do it.
Is that a thing? I've never heard of doing that.
It may not. It's a bitty penny thing.
It's a bitty penny thing. Good for you.
I
Well, you know
just, it
what?
was funny. I couldn't pick between the two. And then, so I had one on each foot and I was like, you know what? They actually look really good together. So I guess I'm getting them both.
My kids wear mismatched socks. I don't see why mismatched shoes is
Oh,
much
yeah.
different.
Well, I grew up in the 80s when we used to
Me
wear,
too.
you know, look at all these bracelets I have on. I mean, wear watches up to your elbow. Like, I'm a child. I'm the product of the 80s. It's not my fault.
I'm also from the 80s.
Oh, I love it. Well, my card's almost done. How is yours coming along, Ardyth?
Mine's almost done too. In fact, I could have been done, but I thought, you know what? I'll just add a few little extra gems here on my gold hand. What is it called? A hand border, hand-drawn border.
Well, it's looking beautiful. I love the colors you chose.
Well, the only thing I'm not loving is, and I find this happens quite a bit. I want a gold sentiment, but it's kind of lost in there, you know? It's hard to read. So maybe that was not my best choice, but that's the nature of craft roulette. Like I said, you decide, you commit, you go.
That's right.
If
No
I
turning
remade the
back.
card, that might be the one thing I would change, but I'm pretty happy with the rest of it.
I'm going to add a sentiment to the inside of mine.
Ooh, maybe I should too. Oh, I'm not even sure where I would find one, so I'll do that maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, you can always add to it later. I'm going to add a happiness is a cup of coffee with a good friend. I bet
that sounds nice.
you and I would have a wonderful cup of coffee together.
Well, I would have a Diet Coke, but yes, I'm sure we would have a wonderful time.
Yes. So Diet Coke, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a coffee girl, but I do need my caffeine.
Ah.
Yeah.
See, and I don't do any caffeine, but I love the flavor of coffee so much that I'll have a decaf.
Right.
And I drink a lot of tea. So I just started this new thing for myself where at 2:30 each day, I get to have a tea break and I get to have something sweet because I would eat something sweet just randomly whenever I wanted. So I had to kind of set some parameters for myself.
Right.
So now I have tea time.
Nice. That's a nice little ritual.
Yeah. Now I specifically have something sweet, but only at that time each day.
Right. My in-laws do that. I do that as well. I have some chocolate after dinner.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, I know you made a video about it today, but I wanted to just kind of touch upon because we are at the end of 2022 and we're at the beginning of a new year. You know I'm certainly setting some goals for myself, and I know that you did as well. Do you do that each year, or is this kind of new for you?
I'm not really the new year's coming, let's make a resolution kind of a person.
Me neither. I'll break it.
It's more, well, that, and also it's just more like, as I notice things, I try to make changes. This just kind of coincided because I had time off this week and I thought, like, what did I do in 2022? And I looked at all my cards and then I went back and I looked at everything I bought. And that was a little surprising.
Sobering.
It was a little sobering. I because I keep everything in an app called Evernote, I was able to sort it by date. And so I could see everything I had purchased in 2022. And then I could see how much of it, just by going through and looking at it, going, oh, I haven't used that. I haven't used that. I haven't used that. And it started me thinking, like, why do I have things that I don't use? And I realized a couple of things about my shopping habits that really need to change. And it's not just about buying less, although I think the result will be that I buy less. But it's more about analyzing, like, how am I choosing things? And, like, how do these things end up in my cart? And I know that one very real thing for me is because I live in Canada and I'm already paying for shipping. I tend to, as I'm sitting there looking at my cart, I'm thinking, well, I have to pay $10 of shipping. So I may as well buy more stuff,
Yeah, make it worth it, right?
And then,
yeah, I could see
but
that being a thing.
And it ends up not necessarily being stuff I love. So, that was kind of an eye opener. The other thing was, and even despite having Evernote and knowing theoretically what I own, I bought a few things that were very similar to things I have already. And so one of my focuses, instead of a resolution, let's call it a focus. I really want to focus on using what I've got, but if I see something I want, before I buy it, think about and maybe even make something with something I already have. Because often I just like the look of the card and I don't necessarily need that exact product to get that look.
Right. Yeah. I ask myself, like, this is being an example, like, how many coffee sets do I honestly need? Right. Like, as I evaluate my stash, one thing I did last year was I set myself as a low buy, and I really needed to do that so that if I put a restriction of no buy, I knew I would fail.
Right.
So I just set a low buy. And one thing that I did is everything that I did buy, I put in a box, a 12 by 12 box, and I wouldn't store it away until it had been used. So I made a commitment to myself that I would use everything at least once before even storing it where it would normally go. And that kept me more accountable for my purchases and what I was purchasing and what I was using. Because I could see physically that things were starting to stack up and I wasn't using them. And that really helped me slow purchases, because it's like, look, you already have this box of things. Go shop your own stash. It's all brand new. You haven't touched it.
Right.
And that was a real physical reminder for me and a very helpful aspect of my low buy year, I think.
I think I might give that a try. I am an organizer. I am a slightly A-type organizer. So I like to have my stuff in its spot. But as long as that is its spot, even if it's temporarily, then I think I could probably live with that. Because I've always felt like, I wouldn't like having that stuff all out because it isn't put away. But if it was put away because that's where it belonged until I used it, I see the value in looking at that box and saying, you haven't used that yet. Don't be buying something new.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I think, like, I see T, my friend T, not afraid of color, in the comments. She said, the other hard part is how the industry is precarious. And if we stop buying, well, and I've definitely thought of that, T. Like, I definitely like to support small shops and support others' vision and other people's dream as I follow my dream of just having some time to craft. And make fun things. And, I respect that we're all in different places. There's a lot of people here among us tonight and who will watch this in the replay. By the way, if you're watching the replay, say hi later. But, we're all in different stages of collecting, and we're all in different stages of exploring this hobby and what it means to us. And so I think, as we have these discussions, that also has to be said, because there is a lot of great product and it's always getting better and there's always more of it. I know the market is so much more saturated than when even I started, and I haven't even been crafting as long as you, Ardyth. And, and so I've always, enjoyed spreading the word and sharing the things, but I just know for myself and my craft room that it's almost dangerous. It's so full.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think you put
Where
it
I'm at in
really,
my journey.
yeah, I think you've put that really well, which it's true. There are newbies who are just starting their collections.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people like you and me who maybe have enough. Let's just
Right.
leave it at that.
Right.
Yeah, and of course, we do want these companies to stay in business. The ones I know are good people working
Oh
hard
yeah.
to provide us with choice and options. I mean, I often see people complaining about the stores marketing hard, and I mean, that's business, right? Like it's not their job to manage what we buy. It's their
Mm-hmm.
job to provide choice for us. And
Right.
then we have to choose our behavior and what we're going to do about with that choice.
Exactly. And for me, my channel is just all about my journey. I'm just a girl with
Mm,
an iPhone. I
yeah.
don't even record on a fancy phone or
Oh, I
a
don't either.
camera.
I don't either.
I'm just a
Yep.
girl with an iPhone and a craft room, and I love this community.
Me
And I
too.
used to watch videos and just comment, and then I just needed to get even closer. I needed to dive deeper. And so I share my journey, but I respect that we're all in different places.
For sure.
Oh, it's been so wonderful hanging out with you and
Yeah,
crafting
I've
with you,
really
just
enjoyed
like
it.
I knew it would be. So let us see your card up close, Ardyth. Let us see what you've made. Oh, it's so
It's
beautiful.
trying to make sure it's all in the frame there. Oh, there's a little hair there. Sorry about that.
It's handmade.
I'm keeping it real.
That's right.
Yeah,
Oh, I love it. I love the colors. Did you do the inside? I didn't get to
I did
see.
not because I didn't want to have to get up and try and find a stamp set. So I
I
will,
respect
since it's
that.
for my mom, I should probably handwrite it anyway. So
She will appreciate that.
yeah.
I love it. I love it so much. And so here's the one that I made. Let me find. There we go. That's better.
Oh gosh,
Um,
drop my camera again. Sorry.
I was so delighted. You guys don't even know that I could get these leaves just already done. And then I had fun stamping out these. I like these kinds of stamp sets where it's solid pieces to stamp between the lines. I hope this counts as a border. Heidi, if you're here, Deputy Heidi, let me know. I just did a few little things around touching and drawing on the border of the card. So hopefully that counts. And then for the inside, I carry the border to the inside, use it a little bit more of my stamped images and die cuts, and happiness is a cup of coffee with a good friend.
I love
And
those
I just had to
hashtag.
do artist size. That was fun.
Yep, that's great. I love the little hashtag border. I think that's awesome.
Well,
Oh
if
yeah,
we're
it's
ready
fun.
to if we're ready to
And
flip
I
up,
like your border. Yeah. We will
I'm
Ardyth,
gonna change
I'm gonna
it.
give you a break.
Yeah, give me half a second. I'm gonna. Yeah, go back to face cam. I'm just using the paper cam to hide it so we don't get motion sickness. All right, we're going to do the schedule now.
All right, you guys. So that was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We have a wonderful schedule coming up. We have Amanda Stevens and Carrie Rhodes next week. And do you know how to play craft roulette? All you need to do is use these parameters and submit your card at craftroulette.live. The submission process is easy, and it's even easier now that Steven has adjusted it. So make sure you add your contribution and get entered for the drawing. So yes, we have Amanda Stevens next week along with Carrie Rhodes, and then Mary will be back, episode 146, and we all cheer, yay! And I have a sweet friend on this list, Miss Desiree. So I'm so excited. So many wonderful crafters. I know you guys are going to want to come back and cheer them all on. All right. We have to say thank you to our patrons. Thank you guys so very, very, very much. I'm grateful that you contribute. And I know that Mary and Mr. Producer and everyone is, because we love Craft Roulette. So here's the list of all the names of everyone. We've got Club Fun, Fun Supporters, and Fun Friends. There's a monthly call that Mary does each month, and there's just so many perks. This community is amazing. So definitely get involved. If this is your thing, get involved. It's worth it. This is your way. You don't have to start a YouTube channel. Just become a patron to Craft Roulette. All right. Giveaway time. Yay. It's time for that giveaway. How do you get entered into the giveaway? You have to have submitted a card last week. So we had 116 people submit cards, and you do need to be in the United States for physical gifts. The itty bitty card, the handmade card, and the itty bitty gift, those I believe Mary ships internationally. The goodie bags,
they'll go anywhere.
Some of the others, they the physical items need to be shipped in the United States. And then sometimes there's a gift card, and that's just up to the company whether they ship internationally or not. Okay, so we're going to get this started just the way Craft Roulette always has, with the handmade card. So best of luck to you guys. And we'll have a winner here in just a second. I can't wait to see who it is. Drum roll. Stephen, you have to read the name.
Anne Schmidt.
Yay, and congratulations. I'm so happy for you. I'm sure the card will be beautiful, and it's a treasure because Mary made it. So enjoy. Now, to claim, you have to claim your prize. You do.
Correct.
So you have to go to craftroulette.live and claim your prize. You have
There
until
is
the
a
next
prize
episode.
claim form.
There's
It's
a
the
prize
same-
claim form.
Yeah, there's a Janet Sitaway won a goodie bag.
Yay, Janet. It's going to be full of goodies. Did you know? Oh, it'll be so much fun. And then Artful Angels, thank you so much. And hey, I'm in Texas too. I can't wait to check out. I've already kind of been checking out your shop. So Artful Angels, amazing stamp sets, you guys, just really fun. So some lucky person is going to be going shopping.
Chris.
Yay.
Chris H.
Okay, cool. Congratulations,
been saved?
Chris H.
Those are ready to be claimed. You can find it on our website, craftroulette.live. The windows are the same as submissions. Patrons have an extended window. Everybody else has until Monday, Central United States time. And all right, are we ready to bring Ardyth back?
Let's bring her back. I can't wait to see her. Hey, Ardyth.
Is this my 10th time now?
Not quite.
Does it feel
No.
like it?
No. Time flies when you're having
good.
fun.
Oh, I had the best time crafting with you. Thank you so much.
Me too. You make it very easy, and I really appreciate all those really interesting and thought-provoking questions from the patrons and the audience as well.
Me too. It's really interesting to hear what people think, and then, just have more insight. We all get to know you better.
Yeah.
So you have a YouTube channel.
I do.
You have Instagram.
I'm on Instagram, ArdythPR1.
Okay. Awesome. So everyone, make sure you go follow and subscribe to Ardyth if you haven't already. I know you'll be so happy you did.
And I'll be happy you did too. Thank you.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. It really does. So how are you feeling about your card tonight and about the parameters? I think you've been pretty happy since the wheel spun.
I tell you, this is my best night. The card making went pretty fast. I love using the Stencils 360 to make my wreath. So yeah, overall, this was a pretty easy night. So
Yeah, and you guys, if you want to know more about the tool, go check out Ardyth in the Card Maker Success Summit. It is so worth your time, and you can get free tickets, and you can watch her for free when that time comes, or you can pay and watch it again and again, along with lots of other people. I participated. It's a lot of fun, and I definitely encourage everyone to go check that out.
but if you don't want to wait, I have a whole playlist on my YouTube channel about how to use this tool.
Awesome. Even better.
Including like right from the beginning. I was lucky enough to be involved in the launch of the tool. So right from the beginning, when I was figuring out how to use it, I have a video that shows how I went through that thought process and then build my skills from there. So it's a really interesting, and I even show how you can use 6-inch square stencils with this tool.
Awesome.
It's a really cool thing.
Very cool. Well, Ardyth, I wish you the best crafty year ahead, and not just in your crafts, but in every way. And to everyone in the Chatterbox, I want to wish you a happy new year. I want to thank you for this year. I mean, when we look back at all the achievement boards and we see the cards that you've made week after week, I mean, whether you've sent in 1 or 100 plus, I just think that you're all amazing, and I'm honored to be in the Chatterbox with y'all, to be here tonight. I'm trying very hard to fill in for a very special lady who I know we can't wait to have back.
I think you did a great job, Biddy. So thank you for being such a wonderful host. And I know that having you here I'm sure has given Mary great confidence to be able to rest up and focus on coming back. But I know she wasn't worried about leaving it in your hands.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's what I want her to do. Just rest up, Mary. Just rest and get better. You're priceless. You're irreplaceable. So thank you all so very much. I did New Year's Eve with y'all last year, and I just feel like it set me up for the best crafty year I've ever had. I did a recap of 2022 on my channel today, and just making that video, it almost makes me emotional. It was such a good year. And I just feel like being here on Craft Roulette last year was the absolute best setup for a new year. So to be able to do this again is a huge, huge honor. I'm so excited about 2023, and I just want to send blessings to everyone. Mr. Producer, you are the super glue holding us together during this time. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stephen.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah. Ardyth, I hope that you and I can get together again.
Me too.
I had an absolute blast with you. Thank you,
too.
Chatterbox. I saw a lot of my friends there, and just seeing you and just knowing you're there makes me feel so much better. So thank you, everyone. Blessings to everyone. Have an amazing end to this year and a very happy new year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Good night.
We got
Happy New
one
Year.
last thing to do. Mary, this cannot end without us kissing our brains. So everyone, kiss your brains, give yourself a big hug, or those around you, and we'll see you next time. Amanda, I'm passing the baton back to you. Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Ardyth.